Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call Loyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, pushing the work of truth and sincerity. The art of loving God. Okay? The art of loving Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, is to love your brothers. Okay? The same way you treat your brothers is the same way you would treat the Lord. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, because it's one of the highest principles that we have as a people. Showing love, having each other's lives in high regard. Because this world, they don't care for one another. They don't care to live in harmony with one another. It's always gimme, 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 gimme. And it's always the selfish, energy that the world pushes. Every man for themselves. And we're cut from a different cloth. All right. We're the legacies of, great men, starting with Abraham, father, all right, Isaac, and Jacob, the patriarchs, okay? And so we are to display that, love for one another, because Yahweh Shai did it, with the disciples, and he didn't do it grudgingly. He did it willingly, Salakia, okay? And we ought to have that same mindset, to willingly love one another, and that's how the world is going to know that we're, Yahweh Shai's disciples, by how we love one another. The scriptures say that. I don't know exactly where, but I do want to read this, 1 John, all right, 4 and 20. I'm going to start up in 19. We love him because he first loved us, all right? If a man say, I love God, right? So in actuality, it's the Lord that loves us, all right? We don't love, and it's sad to say this, we don't love the Lord as much as he loves us, okay? Because, the mercy that he extends, and the transgression that, our transgressions is worth being casted off, worth being put to death, and worth being, forgotten and cast away, but the Lord's mercies, and for his sake, he has brought us back. Yahweh Shai has shown the greatest sacrifice, all right, which he's done that through, laying down his life. And we're supposed to have that same mindset, and if you, if you don't, and if it's hard for you to, live that, pray, because this world, they won't do it for each other, but we reciprocate that same love that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has towards us, so we do it for one another, okay? Salakia, so if a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love the Most High whom he hath not seen? All right? Okay? So we see each other on a daily, every day, talk to each other. All right? So how can we love God that, of course we don't see him, but his spirit is prevalent, his spirit is present, How can we love Lord have we who we have not seen, but you know, our brothers, we deal with them every day. We don't, you know, if we dealing grudgingly towards one another, and you know, I don't feel like dealing on, you know what I'm saying? That's just, it's hypocritical. All right. Okay, so the art of loving the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is to love your brothers. All right. And the scripture goes into that. You know, if you it speaks about the little ones, you know, and if you give, you know, I think it says along the lines, I know I'm butchering it, if you give these little ones a drink, then the Lord, you know, this equivalent to giving that the Lord that drink. You know, I'm not sure if I'm quoting it exactly. I'm not quoting. Of course, I'm not quoting it exactly word for word. You know, but the way we treat each other is the way we would treat Yahushua. Okay. All right. So it says, in this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth the Most High love his brother also. Okay. So the art of loving the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is to love our brethren. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, of course, keep his commandments. One of the highest commandments is that we love our neighbor as we would love ourselves. You know, and the whole law hangs on this, because how can we thrive in a community or thrive among one another if we don't have, if we can't live in harmony with one another? Okay, and the Lord is big on that. The Lord is big on family. The Lord is big on preserving relationships, and that's what the law is all about. It's all about preserving life itself and looking out for one another. You know, when we read the scriptures, certain scriptures, you know, concerning our, you know, the history. For instance, you know, when the Israelites would travel, okay, when we would travel, you know, in Israel, to distant lands in Israel, our brethren, our people, we looked out for one another, gave each other shelter. You know, there's plenty of instances in the scriptures that show you that. Gave each other food, you know. Healthy. There was a woman that did it for Elijah. Okay, when there was a famine, and she was about ready to perish. You know, she basically didn't have anything, but you know, Elijah charged her, you know, to have faith. You know, which a lot of women lack. Okay, because you know. You know, the woman is the weaker vessel, but that's why we charge the women to have faith and to believe, you know, and that's what Elijah told her, and she believed, and she was spared because of her faith. All right, but you know, the point of that is that she took care of Elijah. You know, just showing you how that's one instance of many. You know, of how we took each other in and cared for one another, you know, no matter where you were in Israel. And that's just how we are as a people, a loving, caring type of people. All right. And we still have that trait about us, you know. It's just, you know, it's just backwards. We love the other nations more than we love ourselves. And we, you know, Jake, would, you know, Jake would try to save the heathen or look out for the heathen more than their own people, you know. But the Lord is going to, you know, turn things right side up, and we're going to have that care for us and us only first, you know. So, Salaki, let me get another precept. I had Sirach 13:15. See what this says. Okay. Sirach 13:15. And Salaki, because I haven't been able to upload internet right now, working on that issue, and my phone is like very slow, so it takes all day to upload. You know, and at times, sometimes it doesn't upload. It'll start all over. But through the Spirit, you know, I'm gonna keep trying anyway. Sirach 13 and 15. This is every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorteth according to kind. All right, and we are people. All right, we're a peculiar people. All right, we're a special people. All right, and we should, you know, we are the epitome and will be the epitome of people that's for each other, of people that is for our people, our like, our kind, our neighbors, which are essentially our brothers. Okay, all flesh consorteth according to the kind, and a man will cleave to his like. All right, and that's why Israel is going to dwell alone. We're going to dwell alone in the kingdom. All right, because the Lord set it up, and so, you know, the Lord divided the nations for a reason. Okay, and it's of course for the Lord's purpose, because, you know, that's why the Lord set up species. All right, you know, one species doesn't, you know, mix with other species because it won't work. One species would, you know, could eliminate the other species. All right, and the Lord has set it up so, you know, the species are divided so they can thrive, you know, with those that are like them. Okay. Otherwise, the species would take over, you know, the other species, and the Lord has set up that order. You know, even with nature itself, the Lord has set up nature and divided nature. He divided the land from the sea. I believe it goes into that 2nd Ezra, the 4th chapter, that even the sea doesn't go over the Lord's commandment. It doesn't transgress the Lord's commandment. So if the Lord, you know, set the sea, or commands the sea to, you know, or set the boundaries of the sea and the land, it doesn't go beyond that order. All right. Okay. But then you have, you know, certain species who I will name. All right. Edom, who go outside their species, and they are invasive, you know, invasive species. Okay, who lack empathy and sympathy, and who lack, all right, consideration for boundaries. All right, and they invade. They're very invasive, and they pretty much destroy everything that they come in contact with. That's why Malachi explains that Esau is the border of wickedness. All right? Scripture says, you know, that their desire is as hell. Okay? And is as death. You know, who basically they can never have enough. Scripture tell you that in Habakkuk. Okay, so let's continue, which I guess you could say is leading into this, right? All flesh, verse 16, consorteth according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What fellowship hath the wolf with the lamb? So the sinner with the godly, right? So they don't have no fellowship. The wolf doesn't have fellowship with the lamb. Now in the kingdom, they will, because the kingdom is going to be peculiar, and righteousness, all right, in the rulership of Yahweh Shai, righteousness is going to reign on the earth, and there's going to be a different spirit in the earth. a different vibration, one of harmony. And in the mountain of the Lord, it's going to be a very peculiar, very spiritual, highly spiritual place where there ain't going to be beasts devouring one another. All right? They're going to be in harmony with one another. All right? Which that's what we're looking for, perfection. We're looking for peace. All right? We're looking for righteousness, man. All right? So Salakia, it says, what fellowship have the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? What agreement is there between the hyena and the dog? All right? And what peace between the rich and the poor? All right? Because the rich will devour the poor. The hyena would devour a dog. All right? It says, as the wild ass is the lion's prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. So I said it beforehand. It says the proud hate humility, and that's why they're gonna be taken. They're gonna fall, you know. Okay, that's why the proud is gonna fall, because they hate humility. So doth the rich abhor the poor. A rich man beginning to fall is held. Well, so verse 20. Okay. So let's continue. All right, and the Lord is going to restore all things, you know. But back to the point, you know, the art of loving God is to love your neighbor, and that's why the Lord hates Esau. That's why the scripture said what it says in Romans the 9th chapter, I think the 13th verse. Jacob have I loved, and Esau have I hated. Okay. Because Esau does not have love for his neighbors. In fact, the scriptures to give you laws and commandments on what to do when it comes to dealing with these different nations. The nations are not supposed to be invasive unless the Lord permits it. All right? You're not supposed to remove your neighbor's landmarks. Neither are you supposed to mischievously go after the poor and the widow like Esau does, all right? And he makes merchandise of the poor and widow, all right? As he did during slavery, all right? Within these last 400 years, especially more now than ever through welfare and the splitting up of the household, splitting up of the family. And the Lord has a huge problem with that, because the Lord is all about family. He established laws so that we can live in harmony, so that we can enjoy the family aspect of life and what it is really intended for. It's survival. It's intended for, you know, love and so on and so forth. All right? So I'll continue. I did have some notes of keep his commandments, which the number one commandment is to love your brother like you would love yourself. The law hangs on that. Okay, it says respect each other, forgive each other, so that we may live in harmony among one another. And, you know, that's true. Respecting each other, loving each other, and being willing to lay our life down just like Yahweh Shai laid his life down. You know, it keeps that, you know, it keeps things, I'll just say in harmony for lack of better words. Slacking. I am tired, so forgive me. All right. Next one is 2 John 1 and 4. Let's see if it goes. I'm sorry, 2 John 1 and 4. And it reads, let's see if I got it right. 2 John 1 and 4, okay. It says, I rejoice greatly that I have found of thy children walking in truth, as we have received a commandment from the Father. And now I beseech thee, lady, not as though I write a new commandment unto thee, but that which we have from the beginning, that we love one another. So this is not a new commandment. It's just, it has to be renewed in our minds. All right. And we have to come back to a remembrance, and that's exactly what's happening. All right, dealing with the brotherhood and dealing with the ministry. All right, we're learning to deal with each other, and of course, there's always room to grow. We have long suffering with one another. We have patience with one another. We're gentle and kind to one another, because that's the fruits of the Spirit. Jake, you can't always be an asshole 24/7. Sometimes you do have to suffer, Jake, because the Lord suffered your ass. He suffered your ass, so you gotta suffer your brothers. And the way you show love to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is how you treat your brothers, even in situations where you're irritated or you feel some type of way, whatever, All right, because it really ain't. It's really about you preserving that harmony. All right, preserve that harmony. All right, through the fruits of the Spirit. Okay. It says, and now it says, and this is love, that we walk after his commandments. This is the commandment, that as ye have heard from the beginning, we should walk in it. All right. For many deceivers are entered into the world, who confess not that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist. Yep. And you have those. You have those with that spirit of antichrist, man. All right. They don't speak according to the Spirit. They speak outside of the parameters of what the Spirit has revealed that we do. Okay, so that we may find favor and ultimately salvation. Let's continue. 1 John 5:2. All right. 1 John 5:2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. All right. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. It's not. All right. Commandment not grievous. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world. All right. Which you Akim. All right. We were taken out of this world to ultimately overcome it. All right. And this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith. All right. Because the trial of man is in his reasoning. Okay. And we must confess. Confession is part of your reasoning within yourself. We must confess Yahushua. And to confess Yahushua, all right, is to adhere to and not just believe in him, but acknowledge his ways, keep his commandments. All right. Who is he that overcometh the world, but he that believeth that Yahushua is the Son of God? Which there's a lot that comes with that. Because one can say, oh, I believe that the Lord is the Son of God. There's a lot that comes with that. There's a lot that you have to acknowledge in the Spirit. This is he that came by water and blood, even Yahushua HaMashiach. He came in the flesh, not by water only, but by water and blood. All right, and it is the Spirit that beareth witness, because the Spirit is true. All right. So let's continue. I got people pulling up on me. Yeah, exactly. Check 1 John 3:9. 1 John 3:9, and I'm gonna cut it right here. It says, "Whosoever is born of the Most High doth not commit sin, for For his seed remaineth in him, and he cannot sin, because he is born of the Most High. In this the children of God are manifest, and the children of the devil. Whosoever doeth not righteousness is not of God, neither he that loveth not his brother. Right? And you see who don't love their brother, the accuser. All right? The accuser, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the red man, the red media, whatever you want to call them. All right? They hate their brother. They've shown that through all their endeavors. All right? Hell, the fact that they're rich shows you that they hate, because all their riches is through ill-gotten gains, and that's through what? Oppressing their neighbors. All right? It says, for this is the message that ye heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. Now this Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. All right? Okay? That's right. Because their own works are evil, and ours are righteous. That's why Esau hates us, because we're doing the right thing, even in the condition that we're in. All right? Hey, Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to you, Akim, pushing the work of truth and sincerity. Shalom.